Don't wait till the night before Christmas to be good.
And in 3, 2, 1, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 11 of the 7th annual 12 podcast of Christmas. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Francois Nation.
I'm Andrew Sorsdahl.
And I am Bernie Bots.
Birdie Bots.
Is it?
Yeah. Birdie Bots, every flavored beans. Every flavored beans.
Oh no, I'm his brother Bernie. Like from Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh, I see.
Bernie Bots. Fantastical cocktails and cockroaches. Have you heard of me?
Entirely a figment of Brad's imagination.
I would say that Harry Potter is a figment of J.K. Rowling's imagination.
I would agree.
I think that he's the figment of a lot more than just J.K. Rowling, because if you've read the books, you recognize.
What
him
if
as a
you're
character.
incapable of imagination?
He has no imagination. Our
There
imaginations are under attack.
that is a thing, isn't it? There are people who are incapable of, like, they can't form pictures in their mind. I've read about this. I remember this. I read an article or watched an interview
There's
or
also
something.
blind that like
And a guy was talking about reading books and fictional books, and he was like, "Yeah, I hate reading books." And then some guys talking about it, and for a long time, people just thought he didn't like reading, but he was great at reading. And he's like, "No, it's just like I don't like it. Sucks. It's such a shitty It's not engaging. I don't like it." And then he explained, he's like, "Yeah, I can't." And then people talked, but it's like, "Don't you like being able to escape to a different world and stuff?" And he's like, "What are you fucking talking about?" And then I think there's a type of person who, like, I don't know if they just struggle, or they just can't formulate images in their minds like that.
It's interestingly enough because that reminds me a little bit of the dichotomy that exists between the two types of people who are blind. People who were born blind versus people who became blind during their lifetime. And people who became blind during their lifetime, many of them purport to still imagine things as images from what they can remember of images. Whereas, obviously, someone who's blind can't describe the picture in their head because they don't know what things look like because they've always been blind. So I think that that's a fairly interesting look into... Probably, I'm sure it's being studied lots. I mean, we're a little bit tied up with coronavirus right now. But
Do you think that the longer you stay blind, the
more
you start to forget what
You
things
must.
looked like? And so then it's like, do you think that people who became blind, like let's say you at 15 years old, you were blinded, and it's like, then let's say like they're 60 years old, and they're like, how much of what I remember is my own imagination
and what is reality?
fucking with what I remember? Like, do you think they go nuts being like, is that actually what that fucking thing looked like? Or is it like their memory of that is just so, because that's the only thing they have visually for the rest of their lives, it's just so dialed in that it's like, well, I'm never going to forget that stuff because that's the only thing I have. I have nothing to like replace it with. So it's like, I will always remember that thing perfectly.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's a good point. Yeah, because I think about like, there are obviously objects and things that I think that I remember so well, but then ultimately look different than what I thought they looked like. But I also have a lot of stuff that I'm getting inputted into my brain all the time.
Visually.
If you don't have that, then maybe it's easier to hold on to those images.
Well, so yeah, I would imagine that if you were to talk to people who were blinded sometime after birth, or like after they were born, at a time when they were able to formulate memories, it's like they probably have really crisp. They're like, I can remember the month before I went blind, like exactly.
I think the real important question here is, how do blind people wipe? How do they know if they're done?
What is wiping?
Well, like when they're going to the toilet,
What do you mean?
wiping their ass, how do they know if they're done?
Describe wiping ass.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Oh, I see. Moving on. Beer.
I'm just so confused, but okay.
You're very confused. Yes, indeed. I'm the asshole for sure.
Today's
our
episode of the
first-
podcast is brought to you by Anvia Vodka from Hudson Bay Distillers.
What?
No,
it's not.
They
No,
would
it's
not
not.
appreciate that.
It's
Actually,
associated
not.
with this.
Maybe that's like, that does make me think of something. Like maybe because we've done a couple projects since the last podcast we filmed. We've done a few projects actually. Now that I think about it, maybe we should go through those quick.
Let's talk about let's get our first beer poured, and then we'll do
yeah.
that as we're doing that.
Fact.
So we got
What do you have? What do you? What do you have for us today, Andrew?
This is Aloha from Quiddy Viddy, which is a brewery in Newfoundland and Labrador, specifically St. John's. It is a sour India Pale Ale, and it apparently is, well, I'll read from this tasting notes here. Where is that? I just had it here. Apparently it's easy drinking, fruity, subtly tart, and a tasty brew.
Okay, so to describe what we're doing, so usually every year we do like some crazy drink thing. This year we thought we'd take it a little bit easier. So for episode 11 and episode 12, we will be drinking 6 different, well, they're not all craft beers, most of them are craft beers.
Non-standard off-the-shelf domestic beer.
Yeah, it's stuff, and most of these things are things we've never had before. Actually, I think they're all, except for Trash Panda. I've had Trash Panda. But I think everything else, I don't think we've had any of these before. Also, I want to talk about that fucking can after, because that is some confusing branding they have going on with that fucking can. It says, it's called Aloha, you said?
Yeah.
It's got a puffin on it. Now, are there Canadian puffins, first of all?
Yes.
So there are puffins in Canada, so that makes sense.
Okay.
Puffins definitely don't live in Hawaii. I'm going to go out and say that pretty certainly.
It's a Newfoundland Labrador beer. Like, so puffins will be common in that area.
But still, it's like the beer's called Aloha. You have Hawaiian
Because it's about describing the flavor. It's fruity
and puffiny.
Yes, it does. So this has a distinct puffin flavor. So if you've never had puffin,
The puffin is what's really giving me pause.
if you've never had puffin before,
Does the beer taste like Trash Pandas?
No. That I'm not. But I'm not saying that the art needs to have anything to do with the taste. That's not my point. I'm saying like Aloha, great branding is consistent. Flowers, tropical plant, branding consistent. Puffin, not a tropical bird.
I think
this is the thing that's confusing to me.
I think it's like if Hawaiian met Newfoundland Labrador is the message they're trying to.
That I can get on board with.
if you've ever eaten a puffin, they do taste a little bit like a mix between a house cat and an orangutan.
You need a little bit.
Like a cat,
I would love to try house cats.
like a calico. So, for those beer purists out here, we do have specific tasting glasses. We're not using them properly, but they are actual beer tasting vessels. So let's try the nose feel. It does have a very fruity aroma.
Hoppy.
I don't mind that.
Almost citrusy.
Yeah. It's got like that kind of like mango, pineapple.
Mango, yeah.
There's something in there that I don't like, but I don't know what it is.
I'm getting more on board with sours.
I actually
It's
don't
not
hate
that
that.
sour.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
It does. There is an odd scent.
There's
Like a
something
hint.
that is fighting the citrus. Fighting that.
It tastes like eating like some new.
Like there's like a
boozy
garbage
fruit.
flavor or garbage smell. It sounds like
It's like there's all these.
It's that
pleasant
sour.
things.
It's that sour.
And then it's
finish.
like if you it reminds me if you take like a Norwex rag and you wet it and you clean with it, but then you didn't
Let
clean
it
the
dry.
rag after and you just let it kind of like stew in a plastic bag. That kind of a smell.
like a musty smell, which is so odd.
It's on the it's off the end of it though. Like you get that first hit, it smells like, and the taste similarly too. It tastes like taking a big bite out of like the new citrus fruit that's filled with like has beer in it. Like it's like if you injected like a grapefruit sort of fruit full of craft beer.
It
That's what
almost
this tastes like.
has a hint of like drink after I brush my teeth with the aftertaste.
So what I will say about Aloha is this: you almost did it. Not bad. In my opinion,
Nice can.
I like the nice matte feel.
I think we're a good audience. We've had enough craft beer, but we're not snobby about it.
Definitely
But
not snobby about it.
we still like craft beer.
I have no right to be snobby about craft beer.
It's not my go-to, but I do enjoy a nice craft beer. I think I can appreciate beer a lot more than I can personally appreciate wine. Just because if I drink more than a small glass of wine, it's like terrible headache, not a fun time the next day. So
Should we rank this out of 10?
I'll give it a 6.
yeah. I would say like a 6, maybe it's a 6.5. I actually quite like it.
I think those are good ratings. I agree with those.
So a few of the projects we've been working on to get back to that point, we've been working with a brand out of a Saskatchewan distiller called Hudson Bay Distillery. And they have a product, you can see it features on our table here, called Anvia Vodka. I was kidding before, they did not sponsor this podcast. But we do work with them. And we are producing a series of commercial just content for their brand. This has been described to us, and I can confirm, as a whiskey drinker's vodka. So if you like to sip hard alcohol on the rocks, that is what Anvia Vodka. It's not meant to be the base of a cocktail.
If you are going to do a cocktail, though, it would be EC recommended something very light, like a passion fruit, a little bit of passion fruit juice with it, just to kind of offset some of the harsh alcohol flavor, basically.
Interesting about Anvia in particular is, and Andrew, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a vegetable-based spirit. Yes, so they have a whole line of...
It's a proprietary blend of
vegan spirits.
Of legumes.
That
go into making.
Very, very interesting how that is.
Also interesting to note, one of only 3 what they've called grain-to-glass distillers in the province.
Yeah, Saskatchewan has only 3?
3, one of 3.
Andrew, why don't you explain to us a little bit about what a grain-to-glass distiller is?
So grain-to-glass distillery means that whereas a lot of other companies will import their vodka, their alcohol in, and then just filter and flavor it, which I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's just a one business model, I will say. And you know what? Like I think there's a lot there's something you can achieve with filtering. For example, I love the taste of Lucky Bastard spirits. I know that they import all their alcohol and then just filter and flavor it in their facility. Whereas grain to glass facility like in Landis, Saskatchewan with Aurora Vodka. And they also have the Aurora line of that's in cocktails or not cocktails, coolers. This is their new flagship spirit line with the sipping vodka. Grain to glass means they actually distill the alcohol from grain, and
it's all an in-house process, very similar to instead of ordering chicken wings from Cisco and just putting them in the deep fryer, actually butchering a chicken. Cutting the product down. I mean, it's obviously not the exact same, but there are a lot of similarities there.
They like to stress the fact that because they personally know the farmers and the grain suppliers that are bringing them their base raw materials, they know everything that goes into that bottle of vodka from that stage onward. So they can have a lot more quality control over their product, making it ultimately, if you're a craft consumer and you appreciate that level of craft that goes into a product, it certainly reflects in the taste. It's very unique, and I highly recommend, if you're at all interested in different types of alcohols in general, giving this vodka a try.
I have a question. Are they available in liquor stores? I didn't ask.
Yeah, limited. They're also available online.
Okay,
and at the farmers market in
Saskatoon.
When that's going again, is that still going? No. Maybe.
I think in limited capacity again.
Okay, why don't we move on and somebody tell me a little bit about this goddamn pinball wizard?
Give me one moment.
Gosh dang.
Somebody tell me a little bit about this gosh darn pinball wizard
by Clifford Brewing Company.
Andrew, where's Clifford out of? Let me guess. I'm going to say Hamilton, Ontario.
Yes, they are Hamilton, Ontario. So it is award-winning American-style pale ale has dominant aromas of citrus, pine, and tropical fruits, paired with a smooth bitterness and balanced with a slightly bready malt body. It's unfiltered and loaded with delicious hop flavors to ensure repeated drinkability. For those who love hops, this APA aims to please. It's got a 5.8% ABV. It is...
Sorry, what's the brewer called?
It is from the Clifford Brewing Company.
So interestingly enough, one thing I do want to note on, because I know we do have, it is very unfiltered. We do have a bit of a for the audience. We have a bit of a non-craft beer audience, and I will
Look
say
at this fucking thing.
I will say this. Yeah, that's what an unfiltered beer is like. One thing I will say about myself in particular, I can't speak for everyone, but I have really started to, for obvious reasons, enjoy IPAs and even double IPAs and hoppier beers over the last year and a half, 2 years. And I think that when I started drinking craft beer, I couldn't even stomach a glass of a double IPA. And now I genuinely enjoy it. And I really didn't think I was going to. Whereas when I started drinking wine, I didn't love it, but it was never like, I don't think I'll ever like this. But when I started drinking hoppy beer, I was like, there's now going to be a point when I enjoy this. It doesn't matter how much I drink.
Yeah, Scotch was was one that took some time to get into, but it's worth it. It's
I don't disagree,
subtle notes that you get there are just.
Okay, so everyone give that a little nose feel.
This looks thick. Like it's.
You can definitely.
It smells like shit, man. I don't like that at all.
So, I like that.
It smells like a fucking garbage dump. It smells like a compost pile. Why would I want to drink this?
As a farmer, this is a very familiar scent to me, that breadiness.
Oh, it smells like bread, like a moldy bag of bread.
So, this is what.
Oh,
when the brewery is brewing beer, this is what it smells like.
Yeah, it's like that. Except it smells good because it's more roasty usually. This smells like fucking shit, man.
I'm actually getting like nothing.
Really?
I'm getting.
You're not getting that bready smell?
I think my nose might be broken for whatever the smell is.
I think you're sniffing. You're sniffing the foam.
But I smelled the can. I tried to smell the can too. I can't even.
It is a very mild flavor.
It smells like it's going to taste like sucking on a moldy piece of bread.
It doesn't. It's very mild, especially after that last beer. It's remarkably mild.
Definitely more bitter.
Yeah, I don't like
really?
that. It's more mild for sure. I don't like that.
Yeah, it's definitely a little more bitter.
The citrusy one.
I mean, I'm getting zero flavor too. Like I'm not really getting a taste out of it.
I don't get a bitterness out of that. I just find that very flat.
My tongue's just reacting as if it's bitter.
I don't like it. Not a fan. 3 out of 10.
I think you guys need to get the shit out of your shit. So
I'm gonna give that a 7. I like that better than the last one.
I'm gonna do some.
I'm not a big sours guy, so that doesn't help.
I don't like sours either, but I liked that because it was so citrusy.
It was very mild sour. It wasn't even really.
Yeah, it was like a sour finish more than it was like.
I could drink another Clifford. I could drink another Clifford Pinball Wizard.
I could too. The thing is, I'm not even getting a taste out of it. Like I'm not. Could I drink? Yeah, I could drink these all day, really, but it's like I'm not really getting any sort of enjoyment out of it.
Now, just so everyone knows,
I don't know if I could do another sip of it.
The first beer we drank is a 6%.
This is a 5.6.
5.6? Yeah. I'll bring over it. Now I'm getting a bit of an aftertaste.
I really don't like that.
So I wish we had like a close-up angle on this fucking liquid because like this is my first time ever seeing an unfiltered beer, I think. I've never seen this before. And it is unpleasant to the eyes.
How does it feel to the heart?
Actually, pretty good.
I'm actually looking forward. I typically like a Belgian pale ale, so I'm really looking forward to this next one.
What's our next one? I guess like briefly
Franz, yeah.
Are we Kozel next?
Yeah. But what we're going to do, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to mention like some other projects.
That's what I was going to say. Let's say a couple projects.
So I can't remember. Did we mention?
Neither of the Christmas lyric videos.
Okay, so we have been pretty festive this last month.
Ho ho!
We've worked on 2 different lyric videos. We finished and delivered 2 music videos, and one of them is actually available to watch right now. And by the time that you see this podcast, the second one will probably be available to see as well. So the first lyric video we did was for dear friend of the podcast and of Prehistoric Productions, Dylan Curry,
Curry,
known by many of you as the frontman of League of Wolves, and he's doing an EP
album.
He's doing an entire album,
solo album. Yeah.
Very excited for. But his first single, and he'd be the first one to tell you that he was surprised by the fact that this was the first single that he released, is a Christmas song called "Staying Home for Christmas," and it's very much a song about the current pandemic and the fact that lots of people won't be able to go home for Christmas this season. But to keep everybody safe, it's better that you hunker down, stay in your immediate groups. And so Dylan thought that that's kind of a depressing thought, not to be able to go home for Christmas. So he wrote this beautiful song that kind of encourages people that it's like, you know what? You might be alone literally, but in spirit, you're together with a lot of people who are experiencing the same thing as you are. So let's all remember that, and remember that it's like we're doing this for the greater good. So the song is quite beautiful. It's quite uplifting, very encouraging for people who are experiencing depression, or not depression, but are
Depressed about the
sad.
circumstances.
Depressed about the circumstances.
I mean, depression is not wrong, because I mean, if you really combine the nice thing that the really good thing about COVID when we first were introduced to it was we were shifting from winter to summer, which is a much easier mental shift than from summer to winter, for most at least. So, you know, shifting into that winter season, plus COVID is still not, I mean, vaccines are out now, thank God, and people are starting to get inoculated, but, you know, it's cold and you're alone. It was like the first time I had sex.
Cold and alone. You were alone when you had sex first time?
One of my favorite things that my dad always says to me. And the point of the joke is that it doesn't make any sense. And he's like, whenever, like, somebody will say something, and my dad's like, yeah, it was like the first time I had sex, I was cold and I was alone.
That is a good joke.
So usually my dad's not much one for interpretive humor, which is what I would consider that in the vein of. So that was a favorite of mine.
So to back, excellent joke, Gary. But to go back to the lyric video, so yeah, Staying Home for Christmas. It's on YouTube. It's on Facebook. I would ask that you please go and follow Dylan Curry on Instagram, Facebook, Bandcamp, MySpace. Go search his name on every social media and try to follow him if you can.
Find him, I think his Habba Hotel is Dylan.Curry.
And Dylan.Curry, that would be... Man, can you imagine if you got a domain name, Dylan.Curry?
No, awesome. His Habba Hotel.
Club Penguin.
No.
I know Habba Hotel.
Okay. If you guys want to check out...
I think he does use the same username.
I have sex on Habba Hotel.
I think he does use the same username on Club Penguin as well. But...
what's his Second Life?
Can you imagine if Dylan was really into Second Life? That would be incredible.
Like,
but
wait, you guys aren't really into Second Life?
Well, I am, but I'm saying, can you imagine if Dylan was?
Yeah, Dylan's good looking.
So yes, I would really appreciate if you went on Facebook or YouTube and checked out the lyric video and maybe gave it a comment and a like. I just want to shout out Aspen Beveridge. He's the one who mixed and mastered the song, I believe, and I think he helped Dylan with composition a little bit and does his magical wizardness. So he helped a lot. And I would like to give a shout out to Kayla Ray, Dylan's girlfriend, fiance. I hope I'm not offending anybody. I'm not certain about that.
Life partner.
I'm gonna go with we're gonna go with partner for now because that's a safe bet. And she did. If you watch the lyric video, there's these watercolor paintings that are featured in the video, and she did those watercolor paintings, and it was just like they were just super.
But
nice
Francois, who did the video?
Super conducive. Prehistoric Productions. We did the video.
You did the video.
You did.
You did the video.
That one was
Francois Denation Productions produced that one. So this one, tell me a little bit about this Kozel and why should I drink it?
Alrighty, I've got Kozel. Alrighty, so Kozel Premium is a Bohemian / Czech Pilsner, and I actually kind of like that they on this website they identified, because it's like you'll see things just described as pilsners all the time, and it's like I feel like that's such a
lager.
broad. It's like I've had so many pilsners that taste very different. But anyway, so I like that they said that it's a Bohemian / Czech Pilsner. It is brewed at Pivovar Velka Popovice AS.
Oh, Pivovar Popovice. Oh my God.
So it said AS. Does anybody know what AS stands for?
Pivovar
Popovice. A.S? Because I have no idea what this stands for.
Anglo-Saxon.
That's in the Czech.
Anglo-Saxon. Anglo-Saxon.
It could be.
And if you want to pass him that Kozel, and boy,
And
He's got to
it's
finish his other first.
it's brewed in the Czech Republic, and I just want to read this little diatribe I found.
please do.
So apparently it pours clear, bright, golden body, medium white head with low retention. It has an aroma of pale malts, fruit, and biscuits with notes of butter. The taste has
It does have buttery little notes to it.
The taste has pale malts and grassy hops with notes of fruit and butter. The finish is dry. The mouthfeel is medium bodied with average bitterness, light carbonation, and light sweetness. A solid Pilsner.
If you're looking for a mild this season, Prairie Sun Brewery's got a new brown mild out.
That's the one we tried?
Yeah.
That is a fucking good beer.
Yes. I wholeheartedly endorse Prairie Sun's new
I
beer.
actually might have to go get myself a crowler fill today.
You should too.
Stop on by.
Prairie Sun Brewery, 2020 Quebec
Wait,
Avenue.
hey, okay, here's a question.
We have a new location at 650 Broadway.
Due to the fact that you are an owner of Prairie Sun Brewery, could you be like, yeah, Prairie Sun Brewery is sponsoring this episode of the podcast?
Yes, I certainly could. We're not. Prairie Sun Brewery is in no way affiliated with the Prehistoric Podcast, and in no way does it
In
support
fact, Prairie Sun hates Prehistoric Productions and the podcast.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
That's them, that's not us
okay.
to them.
So buttery, they said, eh?
I think what we'll do maybe down the road is when we can one day have guests again on the podcast, we'll do a big group podcast and I'll get a 20-liter keg and then we'll do like a nice sponsored episode.
Yeah. The weapons guys.
It was nice.
We'll get the Weapons guys, League of Wolf guys, JJ Voss, Justin LaBrache.
Maybe 7 Mile Sun people. Who knows? Let's see if that friendship.
So Francois, why don't you tell... No, actually, let's taste this first.
I like it.
It's nice, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a beautifully golden beer. Like that's like a perfect.
You could almost...
The coloring is nigh perfect.
You could almost say that's brewed in Golden, Colorado.
It's not. It's brewed in the Czech Republic.
You could almost say that it's brewed in Golden, Colorado.
yeah. I'd give this one a 7. I really like this one.
You could almost say it's brewed. Okay, cat's out of the bag. Forgot all about it. This is the very first in over 100 episodes.
What?
I have glasses now.
Oh.
He's finally
I have
joined.
glasses.
He's joined the world of the sighted now.
You could have lied.
This-
You didn't need to see for this.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, joke's on you. Those are props.
You could be an alpha fictionally.
No, I can't. Now, 3 minutes with my glasses off, and I have a terrible headache. And to my stomach. Everything
Did you
is...
say 3 minutes? That was less than 20 seconds.
No, I'm saying if I do it for 3
Oh,
minutes. I'm fine right now.
I see. What you're
No, I'm
saying.
not going to-
I was about to say,
not-
did you overestimate the amount of time you had those off?
I'm not going to submit myself to the torture of leaving these off for more than a minute. But it has become...
So you're not taking those off now.
The problem is this.
This is gonna get weird. I'm
And
gonna get adjusted to you with glasses, and then when you take your glass off, it's gonna be like, whoa, this is so weird. You're not wearing your glasses.
The one thing about getting glasses that I will say is the truth about the whole your eyes obviously relax and adjust to the glasses. So now it's blurrier off than they were before I had glasses. So this isn't how I saw pre-glasses. It was a little clearer than this.
Probably better.
Allegedly.
No. I'm I definitely now I can't even fucking hardly read that mega double unless I do this. If I do this, then I can read it.
Yeah, the thing is,
No, but I didn't squint like this. Before it was like this. No, but now I have to literally almost close my eyes to see.
that was not far off from a lot of what you were doing before.
So Andrew is full of what we call shit, and that is the excrement from
who would be a better judge on what something looked like outside of you than
There is no better judge than me, the Golden God.
Oh,
referencing a show he hasn't ever watched? Bold move.
I showed him the mountain.
episodes.
I showed him the mountain episode.
Yeah, and I've seen the one
where
they live in the suburbs, and I've seen the one where they have alcohol poisoning, and I've seen the one where they do the games. Now I've watched that one.
Charlie McDennis.
Yeah, Charlie McDennis.
Next time when we bring the podcast back, we should do, or maybe just Andrew and I actually that'd probably be better. Fuck Brett. But it's whenever we do a thing, you and I should do a top 10 Always Sunny episodes, and we sit in a room for 20 to 60 days, and we nail down the top 10 episodes.
I'm
Because it's
down.
going to take at least 180 days.
I think what we should do is we should each submit 5, and then we debate what position the 5 are.
Yeah. I mean,
And
like
see if
you and
we-
I
see
feel
if
like
we
we'd probably pick, because I mean, like definitely Suburbs is in there.
Suburbs is
Definitely.
in there. Frank,
No, we can't do this right now. We
Yeah,
can't do this.
no.
We're gonna go off.
we're gonna we have a new show that will be coming in the new year
Okay.
It's called Ranking Always Sunny episodes, and it'll be once a day, every day.
for multiple hours.
Okay.
This again.
No. I know exactly what I want to say. I'm just trying
That
to.
can't be true because you.
I want to talk about the Justin LeBron music video. I'm just trying to how I want to
Lyric
open this
video.
up. I had an interesting. I had an interesting aside with Shay the other day because I showed him the
Drunk on Christmas Cookies.
Drunk on
video.
Christmas Cookies lyric video, and he remarked that I'm sure it was him, but I can't remember. He's since long gone, but God rest his soul. He remarked, someone who I was showing to remarked, maybe it was Kelsey, remarked upon how there's man's hands in the videos about a woman. You know,
I knew that was going to be a fucking
whatever.
thing.
It's a point. It's COVID.
I've said it from the beginning, and these guys are like, that's not how it's going to
No, what I like about it is that Andrew is quietly, throughout the series of Justin LeBrash music videos, a hand model.
Yeah.
There's, I think,
girls' hands.
almost every video.
What? That can't be true.
In Miss You, Andrew knocks on the door. In
Yeah.
in the Where the Wild Things Are, Andrew opens a truck door with his hand. In the Drunk on Christmas Cookies, it's Andrew's hand.
It's not,
Andrew grabs a beer in
I have to mention,
in the
this
wake-
is unintentional.
in the Way Crazy.
it was.
in the Way Crazy
I'm being
video.
honest. It's fully intentional on my part.
In the Way Crazy.
Well, it couldn't have been the first like 2 or 3 times.
Andrew's hand.
First 2 times, no.
Andrew hand.
But now you're trying to get it.
Andrew's hands appear in the Way Crazy video as well, grabbing a beer or something.
Holy fuck. It's
we've
like
done
now we
so
need to
many.
get your hand in every project.
I'm also pretty sure he opened the Camaro door in the Summertime Kind of Love video.
Yeah.
So there's a anyway. So needless to say, I have my hands in that video, but not as much as the big guy's got his hands all over it. He makes a delicious batch of what I think are one of the best recipes for sugar cookies I've ever even
Yeah.
mistakenly happened upon.
Brad, you said you weren't even a fan of sugar cookies, and you liked those ones.
They were great.
Oh, so good.
Why don't we'll talk a little bit about the baking, and then we'll pass off to Fran for his inspiration on the lyrics. Andrew, tell us a little bit about the process of baking the cookies and being a hand model in a tasty style lyric video.
I guess what I'll start with is when I heard the song initially,
You're immediately take it back.
the first thing that came to my head was doing a tasty style like that. Just was the first idea. It seemed like a cool way to differentiate the lyric video a little bit and make it festive without doing like a cliche Christmas thing. And then once we found the recipe, it was super easy. I mean, when you have a KitchenAid mixer, it looks cool in the video, I think, but it also just makes the baking process 1,000 times easier. So wasn't much to it. As far as being a hand model, my hands are quite ugly. So how I managed to do that, I don't know. Probably had something to do with owning the company that filmed the videos, but
That's a huge part of it, I think.
so I think it's a huge part.
That's a
of it.
huge in for you.
I'm going to say it's like 90% of what's going on.
Francois, why don't you tell us a little bit about your wonderfully inspired lyrics and your transitions that I think really take audiences back to a Christmas before all the calamity.
Okay, so lyric videos.
Tell us a little bit what is a lyric video?
Okay, fair enough. So a lyric video, for those of you who don't know, is a like if I was talking to a band that wanted video content, I would say like.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about it? I'm just
what a
kidding.
band is? So
Whoa! Stop there.
yeah, whoa, stop there. Can we talk about the letter B? So yeah,
This podcast brought to you by the letter B
letter B.
and the number 12.
So yeah, like if we're talking to a band and like let's say they want video content, everybody knows what music videos are, and that's like an obvious first choice. But the problem with music videos is they're usually complicated, they're expensive, they take a couple days to film. I mean, the biggest thing is cost. It's cost prohibitive. It's like you need to travel, you need to bring equipment, you need to bring manpower. It's like there's lots of costs associated
Actors,
with
makeup.
lots of costs associated with music videos. So a cheaper alternative to a music video that gets you video content is a
And
lyric
still
video.
looks professional and
Yeah, it's-
matches your brand.
Yeah,
and
and
all
it's
that
like
stuff.
everybody uses them. Like Metallica.
Taylor Swift does them poorly.
Taylor Swift does them poorly. But yes, Metallica, everybody does lyric videos. So it's like it's a professional marketing tool. So it's just a video that usually has some sort of visual element.
As most
Accompanying
videos,
all-
videos do.
As most videos do, accompanying the lyrics.
Most of them.
Accompanying the lyrics to whatever song. So we've wanted to get more into that market because it's something that we can do in-house. It's something that if we need to, we can do in a day to 2 days. Like if we're crunched for time, it's something we can have a really quick turnaround time with. But I'll say that the big thing with lyric videos, and I think just in general with video content and the video content that we make, is like I've never been interested in imitating or duplicating or like just doing the same thing that somebody else did. Just doesn't interest me. I feel dirty when I do it, and I know when I'm doing it, and I'm not interested in it. So it's like a difficult thing with lyric videos, I would say, is it's harder to draw that line between inspiration and imitation, because it's just like, because it's text that wobbles on the screen and it's a background element, and it's like did I come up with this, or am I just fucking ripping this off somebody?
Everything's been done already.
Everything's been done already, but I mean, it's like The Simpsons. It's like any show. It's like Family Guy. Family Guy did a great episode. I think it was Family Guy that did the South Park. Sorry,
Simpsons did it.
Yeah, I can't believe I just said Family Guy did a great episode. South Park did a great episode about this, where it's kind of about just like, yes, Simpsons has done everything, but it's like that doesn't matter. It's like at the end of the day, if you sat down, you came up with the idea, you brought it to fruition. It doesn't matter that somebody else had done it already. At the end of the day, the integrity
as long as you're not directly ripping them off, like you watch the episode and then replicating it,
or
because people can come up with the same idea independently of each other.
Exactly, and it's like if you put your own spin on it, like that's what's important. It's like there was idea
thinking, yeah.
There was actual idea generation there. So anyways, going back to this lyric video we just finished, basically it was like we had the element that was the baking element of the cookies, and we had the tasty video that's top down.
But that wasn't enough, not interesting enough for a whole, to be the only piece of the video.
Yeah, I'd say with lyric video, or music videos too in general, it's like you want, with most video things, you want like 2 to 3 elements. It's difficult to sell a video just on one thing. It's possible, and depending on the tone of the song and the pacing of the song and the different elements come into it. But usually I'd say it's like you want at least 2 different things in a video.
Yeah, and
Just
you
to
want to
give some
separate the
variety.
chorus from the verses.
Yeah,
I mean, that's baseline. If you're going to do bare minimum, you should separate the chorus from the verses in a couple different elements.
That's a very good, perfect. So we had the one element, we had the top down tasty style video. And so when I was looking at that, I'm like fuck, it's like I could just have text come in, but it's like it's just not super interesting, and it's like it's also like this the
We call it Taylor Swifting it.
Taylor Swifting it. Well, even what that would have been more interesting than Taylor Swift's newest. If you haven't, I would strongly suggest checking out.
First, watch our video.
Watch our video,
And then go to the multi-platinum artist Taylor Swift.
and look at her newest lyric videos, and look at how lazy that is in comparison. And she has lots of money to burn, so it makes me especially mad because there's a film production company that could have used a little bit of capital and could have like done something really nice, but instead she decided to. Not she. She probably wasn't involved at all. Sorry.
somebody,
It's got nothing to do with Taylor Swift.
somebody in LA got $200,000
to do nothing.
for an hour of work.
So we have this element, and I'm like wondering how to do the lyrics, and all of a sudden it's like you start to notice that it's like, oh, there's all these really nice geometric shapes in the frame. So it's like you have a cutting board, you have some mixing bowls, you have ingredients that are all like cubed and stuff, and it's like, oh, what would be cool is if the lyrics are like tracing around these things. So it's like then you're incorporating the lyrics into the element rather than just lyrics over the element. You know what I mean? And it's same. It's like with the Paul Kuzmic video where it's like we had, this is more unconscious, not quite as intentional, but it's the same idea. It's like what we did with a different lyric video was we had these landscape shots shot with a drone. But it's like what we did with the text then to like complement that was the text flew towards the viewer. So it's like you had camera moving forwards in the sky, but then you had text moving backwards in the sky. Well, towards you.
The text was in place, wasn't it? And then the camera just moved, and the text was mapped to the movement of the camera.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Sorry, I'm trying to remember now. No, I'm
like the camera pulled up on the text.
You're correct. Yeah. Anyways, the text tried to match dynamically to an extent what the camera was up to same energy.
Exactly.
So with this Justin LaBrash video, we came up. That was the first idea for the lyrics on the up top down Tasty video. It was like, let's match the geometrics, and so I started playing around with that. Immediately, it was like, yeah, that's the key. That looks really cool. We'll go with that. And then after that, it was like, well, we need something for the chorus. And then one thing I love doing with lyric videos, and it's nice whenever we can do this, is incorporating a live action element, but digitize it somehow. So what we did is we did an effect where it's like it's wrapping paper being torn as if it's a present being opened on Christmas. And then that goes, so if you can imagine, it's like the top down Tasty video, and then wrapping paper is pulled over the Tasty video as if it's being wrapped. And then to reveal the chorus, the which layer, is like you could call the meat of the, or not the meat of the song, but like it's the flair of the song, I guess. Then it's like you're opening the present, so you're opening the most exciting part of the song. So if you can imagine that in your head, just go watch.
And it transitions from practical to digital.
Yeah,
which is like
seamlessly. Yeah. And so, anyways, I definitely go check that out. And then for the chorus, I was just trying to think of something simple, but still gets that Christmas idea across. Then I'm like, okay, well, what we'll do is we'll use wrapping paper, and then it's as if stickers are being slapped on the wrapping paper, like it's a label kind of being slapped on the wrapping paper.
On a present.
So like
on a gift, I guess you would call it a gift.
So I'd say from like the inception of that whole music video, it's like beginning to end, it's like the whole music video is trying to sell the idea of Christmas and trying to sell different Christmas elements.
I believe it's pronounced Crimus.
Crimbus. Yes, please. By the time you see this podcast, the lyric video will probably be out. So definitely check that out. Drunk on Christmas Cookies by Justin LaBrash. Check it out on YouTube. It'll probably be on Facebook as well. I'd really appreciate that. Brad actually helped me immensely on that one with the animation. It was, I gotta say, it's like one thing that's easy in animation is fucking burnout. It's like you finish like a good portion and you're like, I finished a good portion, and then you're like, I still got 2 to 3 more portions.
And it's the same thing over and over.
And it's like, wow, do I feel like discouraged, because it's like I feel like I did so much, but I have so much to do, whatever. So then it's just But Brad offered to help me out with the animation, and so I finished a section, and then it was like I was about to feel that burnout sensation that I always feel. That it's like, ugh, I got so much to do, and it was like a really good portion of this video is done because Brad was working on it at the same time. And so that was really nice. That was like, it's well,
it's nice when you can come up with like the concept and stuff, because I don't have the experience in digitizing that stuff like Francois does, but he can just walk me through like.
But yeah, now you're getting,
I have all the elements done, and I'm getting better.
You're getting acclimated with After Effects enough now that it's like, now I can explain something to you.
And I came up with a notes thing all by myself.
Oh, incredible. Also, yeah, that was the other thing that I was really proud of. Is
in the notes?
Oh, just like in general, it's like the fact that it's like, it wasn't, you could have taken the lyrics that I gave you, done the bare minimum, and been like, yeah, it's good enough, and it's like, okay. But you fucking really went at it, and you had ideas, and I was really proud of that. It looked really good. It looks better than mine, I think, actually.
I disagree.
Brad did a very wonderful job, regardless. But, yes, no, it was very, very nice. Thank you very much for helping with that. It made that project a lot more. Not only did it help with just like the workload, but it was just like seeing you doing stuff motivated me to keep going, and it was like a nice like.
Yeah, the back and forth. It was very similar to like the stick breaker video.
Yeah, it was really nice. That was really nice. So, anyways, I'm really proud of that video. I'm really proud of the way it turned out. We all contributed really meaningfully to that video. Yeah. I think it's like that's a really good like team effort, I think, on that video.
Absolutely.
So please check that out on YouTube if you can. So what
our next beer is 1919 by Little Brown Jug Brewing Company in Winnipeg, Manitoba. It's a
Okay,
Belgian.
so I'll just be pouring this
It's
one
a
out.
Belgian pale ale.
Fuck you, Manitoba.
It's got
You're the worst
spicy and herbal aroma, strawberry blonde in color. I would say that's pretty accurate. Low bitterness, malt flavors of freshly baked bread,
Dry and balanced finish. IBUs 20.
I actually shouldn't talk shit about Manitoba. I should talk. Why don't I talk shit about Alberta? I mean, there's parts of Alberta that are amazing. That's the problem.
Because like making fun of
They
Alberta,
don't have FUBAR.
making fun of the thing is making fun of Winnipeg is like making fun of like the mentally challenged kid. Like it's just like it's so easy. Like it's like a low hanging fruit. You don't want to be punching down that much. You know, like it's like they already have to live in Manitoba. Like they don't really need to be insulted on top of that.
Wait, now you're advocating for not making fun of Manitoba.
Yeah, it's like they already have to be Manitoba. Like let's not.
It's like
add
a
to it.
backhanded.
It's
defense.
too easy. It's like
So the notes feel-
like I could beat up a kid really easily, but what do I get from that?
How many 3-year-olds can I get? If I backed up into a bathroom stall and they came in one at a time, dead.
So wait, what notes are we supposed to be getting?
Spicy and herbal aroma.
Spicy and herbal
Strawberry
aroma,
blonde
strawberry
color.
blonde color, low bitterness, malt flavors of freshly baked bread.
Definitely getting the malt. I might be getting a bit of the spice. Not sure about that, but
It definitely has a hoppy finish. I
I'm
would say.
starting to get a little bit of that pissed flavor. I don't know if you guys are getting that same. I'm gassed as fuck
that's
already.
wild because it's like we're drinking what, thirds of beers. So
Yeah,
what total we
I've
had?
it's also
1, 2, 3.
it's
yeah.
also 12:30, and all I've had for breakfast is a joint.
We haven't
So,
eaten. Yeah, that's true.
It's also 473. Like we're essentially having almost half a beer every time.
Yeah,
They're strong
I guess.
beers.
I've been enjoying this more than I thought I would.
Yeah,
be.
me too. Ho ho ho.
This might be like, well, not necessarily, but it's like maybe this is like.
Okay, so I'm gonna say let's pound through the next two, get to episode 12, go back to recapping stuff we've been working on, and get to our other 6
I agree.
more beers.
I agree.
Oh,
I don't know if I
right.
can do 6 more beers, boys.
Sorry,
hurt.
Sorry, buddy. There, bud. Ho 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 ho.
Okay, shall we do
Ho, ho,
my
Yeah.
the Kusanagi or the Tanaka?
Okay, hold on. We gotta rate this. I would honestly give this like a 7. I like this.
Yeah, honestly,
yeah.
I'd give this one a 5.
6 or
not-
7, yeah.
5.5. Not my favorite.
So far, I haven't had one that I'm like I would never drink this. So
I would never drink Pinball Wizard. That was not.
That's the
for
one
me.
with the bits in it, isn't it?
Yeah, I really didn't like
That one
one.
visually gives me pause, but.
The smell of that one was rough.
Alrighty, so now we are on to Tanaka, and this one pisses me off, kind of, because I assumed, because it was called Tanaka, and it has very Asian-inspired art on it, that I was like, oh, is this a Asian beer? That's fucking sick. Not at all. And also, like, Quebec stop. What do they call that?
Appropriating culture.
Appropriating culture, please. So this is Tanaka is a wheat beer with ginger. On their website, it just says white ginger beer, I think, but I'm not sure. So it's brewed at Pub Le Travers, French for Bar of Cowards, in Lévis, Quebec. Have you heard, Andrew? You're from Ontario, and I don't know how much you know about Quebec, but you are geographically closer to Quebec, so I would expect you to know more. But that's just completely baseless.
Lévis en Rose.
Have you ever heard of Lévis, Quebec?
Lévis.
Lévis.
Levi. No, I have not heard of this place.
Yeah, I was honestly took pause. I'm like, is that even a place? Or am
Okay,
I just
can I do a
I only
little?
know
Can I
Montreal
do a
and
little
Quebec City.
alcoholic pro tip? I do a pro tip once every episode.
I do. Have
And for those of you who have been paying attention to me,
Oh,
you
nice.
can see that the head of my beer has dramatically reduced in a very meaningful way.
rapidly.
Why is that?
Because you stuck your finger in it?
No, because oils counteract foam. So if you take your nose, which is generally really greasy, and just wipe it, and then you touch the foam on the beer, it will eat the fucking head away like crazy if you've got too much head of your beer.
He wasn't totally wrong when he said the finger thing.
No, but you got to grab a little extra. So you got to grab a gear. I usually go right in here because I got black.
You
kids
brushed
like
him
crazy.
aside quite swiftly.
Decisively.
Andrew, I sincerely apologize for the things that I've said to you, but holy fuck, did that work?
It's
Look at
because
that.
he resents me for being taller.
This I know. So I just want to read this quick little. I think this was a review, actually, maybe. No,
We call
there's no way it was a review.
We call them
because
a review.
This is way too positive.
Review.
Tanaka, completely refreshing to not completely refreshing. What a fucking
I am
statement.
unrefreshed right now. I'm very excited to be
completely
refreshed.
refreshing. Tanaka is an unfiltered wheat beer of exquisite exoticism. You're from Quebec. I hate. Oh, I'm so mad. I'm so fucking angry. The pleasure we have in seeing our brewers peel the ginger roots it contains is matched only by the pleasure you will have drinking it. I have never met. This is the most French thing I have ever read in my life. You pompous windbags. What?
Anyway, I'm excited to try this one.
I'm excited to be totally refreshed.
Like, no, not. I guess total, complete. Yeah, total, completely. I guess that's a synonym. Completely refreshed, exquisitely exotic. The only thing that will please them as much as seeing their employees peel ginger is the pleasure you will have.
It's a weird fetish.
Let's
Yeah,
try
you
this
shouldn't
bit.
take so much pleasure in watching your employees do
I'm
hard
too pissed.
labor.
We gotta hurry. Let's go.
The color is nice, I'll say that.
Yeah, it tastes like beer. I'm shit faced. Like
That one isn't.
It's very mild. It's
very mild. I like this one, but it's mild.
I do too. Smells not great, but other than that, the color's nice, tastes nice.
It's just like this is one of those beers for me, and I guess I've been drinking a lot of craft beer now, so like milder beers are not going to taste as mild. But like from what I'm tasting now, compared to my memory of flavor, my label of the can, like it's smoother drinking than Bud Light. So just buy this one because this is smooth.
You say it's smooth tasting than Bud Light?
Like smoother than like a standard off the shelf domestic beer. Like I don't get any flavor at all right now. But
I'm definitely getting flavor, but it's very smooth. This looks like a well-hydrated man's urine.
It's called a. It's called a smorgasbord.
Excuse me.
Why doesn't somebody tell me about Two Crows?
Man, can you imagine? Like, I never said this, but it's like when we were buying these.
God.
When we were buying these beers, I was like, "Man, is this gonna be enough?" Yikes!
They're open Monday to Wednesday, 4 to 6 p.m. I can tell you that. Two Crows Brewing Company.
Quebec is Quebec landlocked? It is.
No,
they have the St. Lawrence
Lawrence
Seaway.
River. Seaway, yes. River.
Okay, so they
do a tremendous amount of shipping through the St. Lawrence Seaway.
Okay, so they like very subtly get through the fact that they're called Corsair, which is a pirate, which is a sea-based,
They
ocean-based.
do an astronomical amount of shipping through.
Like a lot of piracy in Quebec.
Like it may as well be bordered on the ocean because it is a huge waterway.
Like the Skull and Crossbones originated in Quebec.
Yes, it did on the French Riviera in Quebec.
Like Canada was founded like well after the golden age of piracy, but the Skull and Crossbones, that's where
Upper Canada is old as, or Lower Canada is old as shit.
I'm not saying it's not old. I'm just saying it's like, I don't think Canada is renowned for its pirates.
Canadian pirates?
I know where there's
What
one.
about Louis Riel?
I was going to say Brad Johnner, but.
And was he? No, that's also the last Saskatchewan Pirates, not Brad Johnner's song.
No?
So this is Captain Jacker's song.
What?
Brad Johnner just does a cover.
I didn't know. I actually didn't know that.
Well, time to get this video flagged.
No, don't do that now. We can play it later. I don't not believe you. I believe you. I just I can't believe that it's like the only version I ever
you've
hear
probably
is Brad Johnner.
never heard the Brad Johnner version because nobody plays it. You probably heard it once, thought it was Brad Johnner. No one listens to that piece of shit.
Why do you know about the Brad Johnner version?
Well, because I just know it exists. But like at the Rider games, they play the Captain Tractor version.
Oh, okay. Does it sound similar? Does he just
He just does the exact same thing, but he just sings.
Okay. It's like the what was that one song we were looking at that one time? We were like, fuck, I'm gonna get so fucking mad now. Because you and I, there was a song I was telling you about that I'm like, oh, it was this band, and you were, it was Slade. It's Slade and another band. There's a cover of it. Oh.
When I said I knew the original one and you didn't believe me?
Well, no. I think the one I said was the original one.
Yeah, maybe. And I thought,
Okay, let's just get this done with. This Christmas. We're drinking craft beer and Christmas. This is Two Crows. They're called Two Crows. They're open Wednesday to Thursday.
I can't be drunk.
Monday to
I can't be
Wednesday,
less drunk
4
than
to
you guys.
8.
I am fucked.
They're from Halifax,
what's
Nova Scotia.
I'm more drunk.
Than you've ever been.
No, I'm
This
more
last
drunk
is,
thinking about the other beer I have to drink.
I like this. Just wait.
It's table. They're Lessa table beer, whatever the fuck
Lefse.
that is.
Table beer, whatever that is.
It's apparently citrusy, refreshing, bright, and smooth.
It looks like
And
that.
it's barley, oats, hops, water, yeast. It's
Holy
only
fuck.
at 3.5%.
Oh, good.
So
And we'll steal off with, and we'll say,
apparently it's
and we'll say, off with,
citrusy, refreshing, bright, and smooth.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If you had a pool filled with this stuff, and I was 1 foot below the surface, nothing would terrify me more.
What if there was
nothing.
a shark in the water?
Not if there was a shark with me in the pool of this beer, that would terrify me slightly more.
Oh my god, do I need something?
Look
to
how
eat?
fucking look
Yeah,
how
I'm-
opaque this shit is.
I'm hurting.
Yeah, like you can't see anything through it.
Like there is no light transference. Like this is incredible.
Crazy Farm's actually kind of like this.
You could get the blackest, whatever they call it, the blackest material.
Crazy Farm's a beer brought to you by Prairie Sun Brewery on 650 Broadway.
Whatever that,
This is
Buy
the
a
way it's
portobello.
supposed to do
Buy anything, you get a portobello.
whatever that paint is or whatever. That's the blackest material on earth. That it's like it absorbs light.
Vita Block or Vita
I'm
Block?
sorry, but you wasted your time because I found the thing that absorbs more light. So
It's also citrusy.
Anybody, do you guys ever watch Action Labs?
Action Labs.
It's like that really nerdy guy who just does science stuff, but it's like not. It's not like I'm the asshole from NASA and I made a glitter bomb and I'm so cocky, but I pretend like I'm not.
I like that guy. You don't like Mark Rober?
He's such an asshole.
How is he an asshole? He literally.
He's so pretentious and pretends like he's like, I did it for a kid who was in a wheelchair, but actually I'm from NASA and I'm so cocky that I've helped the community.
Are you saying that he didn't do it for kids?
He's such a dick,
Are you saying
yeah.
that he claims to do things for kids?
I don't.
wheelchairs, but he doesn't?
I've taken it like I just do not get that at all.
He's like,
He's a cocky
like he
asshole.
starts every video. It's like, listen, I only do 12 videos a year, so I take this really seriously. And I have so much money, I can buy 10 Teslas and break them, and I don't care. We're going to build this thing, and it's hugely expensive, but I don't care.
I don't even know who you guys are talking about.
I
Mark
don't.
Roberts, he's a
I don't get
dickhead.
that
Anyway.
at all.
Action Lab.
I think you're just jealous.
Action
You son of a bitch. Fuck you.
Action Lab is comparable to
Dissing
Mark
Mark
Rober,
Rober.
except it's not like he just does everything very small scale. And his big thing, he's the guy who showed you has the vacuum chamber. And he always does like, what does this do in a vacuum chamber? What does this do in a vacuum chamber? What does this do in a vacuum chamber?
Is he the vacuum chamber guy?
No,
like
no.
if I
He
see
just regularly uses a vacuum chamber.
I might not.
It's like in plexiglass and it's a vacuum chamber.
I might have seen that guy. Like he's the one that took the what was that? The
We're almost
vacuum,
done now,
vacuum
here,
man.
though, so let's-
Yeah, and put him in the vacuum chamber.
Okay,
Okay, that's
So
Action Lab.
I've seen like the clips that people put on Facebook.
Yeah, okay. So he does Action Labs does this video where he takes the paint that is the blackest black you can get, and he tries to combat it against the brightest flashlight you can get, and the flashlight just completely overpowers the black 2.0, and then he puts a fucking temperature, like a heat gun to it, or like a thermometer gun to it, because obviously when it's absorbing
Laser thermometer. Yeah.
laser thermometer, and when it's absorbing light, it's absorbing a tremendous amount of heat, because even though it's still visible, it can't absorb all the light, but it's absorbing so much light that it's heating up so fast. And he like puts it on, it's at room temperature.
Oh, science is wonderful.
He turns the flashlight on, it's like 4 degrees, 60, 80, 100, and the thing gets fucking burning hot so fast. And the light's an LED light, so like
This seems like one of those perpetual energy type things where it's like
it's incredible.
we need to do
because
more
you know
of
how
this.
cold LED is compared to incandescent bulb. Like LEDs are not hot
Not
to the
comparable.
touch. Yeah, not even
Like
comparable.
like an LED. In comparison, you could say it doesn't even heat up compared to.
So this flashlight though is like your hand in front of it and like your hand starts to smoke because
but it's an LED
so
flashlight.
it's an LED.
But it's just like it's so fucking.
it's so much light that it's creating that much heat, even though it's only light emitting diodes.
I would give this one a 7. I like it. I would agree with the can. I would say it's citrusy, refreshing, bright, and smooth.
We
I
haven't
like
had an exceptional beer yet, which kind of makes me.
We got some more beer to try. Maybe we'll get one there. It's a great party we had here. It's a wonderful time.
Is that one beer is bigger than the other one? That Kozler.
It's a wonderful time. Thank you for inviting me to your party. We'll see you next time in a few minutes.
Thank you very much for watching.
tuning in.
Please go and watch "Staying Home This Christmas" by Dylan Curry on YouTube or Facebook, and I'm sure it'll be out.
Dylan Curry.
Dylan Curry.
And when we finish, I guess Fade to Black.
And please also go and check out Drunk on Christmas Cookies by Justin LaBrache on Facebook or YouTube.
Check out all of Justin LaBrache's content. Every video that he has is
check out every video.
really good. So thank you guys so much.
Have a great night. We'll see you later. Bye.